X-Men have always been one of Marvel's most beloved franchises, with their popularity boosted even further by the 5-season animated series that started in 1992 and ran throughout the 90s. However, it's the 2020s now, and a lot has changed since then. In 2019, writer Jonathan Hickman transformed the X-Men from a plucky team of heroes protecting a world that hates and fears them to an international powerhouse of a nation that has no intention of sharing the streets with humans, just the seas and skies. From there, Hickman spearheaded the X-Men's development for 3 years, starting with the House of X storyline and continuing into similarly named arcs like Dawn of X, X of Swords, and Reign of X. Do you see the trend here? However, while the X-Men's new era continues on into the future, Hickman's time with it came to an end in 2021. So, to celebrate that end, grab at people's nostalgia, and remind people that the animated series exists before its formal continuation in 2023, Marvel released the 5-part miniseries X-Men 92 House of XCII. Adapting this modern storyline to the 92 series is certainly an intriguing idea, but it also runs into some interesting problems along the way. So, to see what those are, let's run through the series. And the best place to start, of course, is with the title. XCII, of course, is the Roman numerals for 92, meaning that the book's title is X-Men 92 House of 92. Kind of redundant, but it does let people know that this book isn't part of the main House of X continuity. What it does nail home, however, is that this book is supposed to exist in the timeline of the animated series, working with that continuity and those characters. Starting on the actual series, each issue loosely adapts one storyline from Hickman's modern X-Men era. The first issue, intuitively, adapts Hickman's first storyline, House of X. Just like in the present, the first issue of House of 92 sees the X-Men sacrificing themselves to take down Orchis' Master Mold satellite, before being resurrected thanks to the X-Men's new resurrection protocols. The issue also introduces the readers and the human world to Krakoa, a living mutant island that is now a paradise home for all mutants, heroes, and villains. The mastermind behind it all is Jubilee, who is hidden away deep within Krakoa, known about only by Professor X and Magneto, Krakoa's leaders. This is broad strokes how House of X went, with the key difference being that Moira McTaggart was the mastermind over there instead of Jubilee. The second issue loosely adapts the second issue of House of X, before launching into a more thematic adaptation of Dawn of X, Hickman's second storyline. House of X2 showed in detail all the futures Moira McTaggart lived through thanks to her universe reset powers, while House of 92 only shows brief glimpses of Jubilee's past lives. The rest of the issue sees the X-Men fighting a Tri-Sentinel sent by the anti-mutant group Orchis. While the Tri-Sentinel isn't drawing on any particular storyline, the fact that it is secretly gathering information for Orchis lines up well with the main X-Men books. Issue 3 is an adaptation of X of Swords, a huge 22-part crossover that sees the X-Men enter a tournament against another mutant island called Arakko. Arakko was sent to another dimension for complicated reasons, but is back now, and the winner will control both Krakoa and Arakko. In House of 92, Arakko is instead controlled by the alien warrior Archon, so the X-Men are fighting for Arakko's freedom. The tournament is also turned into a free-for-all that ends by the issue and really adds nothing to the overall storyline. Issue 4 adapts the Hellfire Gala crossover for a few pages before bringing back Orchis and introducing Dark Beast. While not a specific adaptation of any particular storyline, Orchis is the main threat of Hickman's X-Men era, and Beast turning into an evil bastard is an ongoing storyline. Issue 5 essentially continues the same storyline from the previous issue, revealing Jubilee's deception. This mirrors the reveal of Moira's deception in Inferno, Hickman's last X-Men storyline before he left the Krakoa era to other writers. However, while Moira was chastised, hunted down, and depowered, Jubilee was given one last chance to reset things and make the universe right. This is likely because Issue 5 is the final issue of House of 92, making it the end of the storyline, while Inferno is just another chapter in the ongoing Krakoa saga. Resetting the universe is a nice conclusion, while Inferno can keep going after its end. It's not a bad series overall, and it does do a decent job of adapting the X-Men's Krakoan era broad strokes from the 92 universe. However, reading the whole thing, it just feels off. It isn't quite as fleshed out or detailed as the modern comics, even just compared to the main X-Men series and not the various spin-offs. While you get the twists of Jubilee's powers or Beast turning evil, it doesn't really have any impact because there's no time to flesh out these characters and their motivations. On the flip side, the storyline doesn't quite feel like it fits in the animated series universe either. Aside from introducing a bunch of mutants who don't really appear in the animated series, and who admittedly don't do much here either, House of 92 feels more violent than anything the animated series could pull off. While the animated series did kill people, such as Morph in the opening storyline, they never really went beyond that, especially not the level of casual death experienced in the comic. Sure, everyone came back, but they all still died, and nobody cares. Is this accurate to the Krakoan era? Yeah, I guess, but it feels weird in the animated continuity. It does get some things from both, right? Such as only focusing on Wolverine and Jubilee like the animated series, or just introducing Krakoa and Jubilee's resurrection powers out of nowhere like in the comics. but those things weren't positives of their respective series. The animated series would have been better if it used characters other than Wolverine once in a while, and the reveal of Moira's powers is a huge retcon that only works if you don't think too hard about it. So while House of 92 took some of the positives from its inspirations, it adapted their negatives too, which only hurts the series further. In the end, House of 92 isn't bad, per se, but it winds up being a watered down version of the Krakoan era that just doesn't feel like it fits into the animated series continuity either.